a lot of people have this mindset when they're single. Guys, lust is a big problem. Pornography, masturbation, and whatnot, and they think to themselves, okay, once I get a girl and in a relationship, I can be able to control it. But you can't.
You can't.
The seed is just, it's too deep.
Yeah.
The roots are too deep, and that's where you end up cheating on your woman, or you know, fornicating and whatnot. So I just wanted to ask you, do you think, this is a question that came to my mind, do you think sex is the biggest loophole in a Christian man's walk, and is the reason why so many Christian men are lukewarm? Lukewarm. So they call themselves Christians, but the reason why they can't really further their walk is because they just can't have that discipline with their sex life.
You know what it is, and I think I was speaking to my dad about it, or he gave a little bit of perspective on it from a different angle. People or Christians always want to be able to have the world satisfy their needs rather than looking towards God to satisfy their needs. And they don't realize, and they're not willing to take that leap of faith of saying, okay, God will be able to quench me of whatever kind of feelings you may have or whatnot. So I feel like in that sense, yeah, it's probably one of the things. Also a lot of other things just in terms of like male pride and male ego is one of the things there. So 100%. Like in terms of, some people may say, okay, lying may be up there with sex, because men may be like, oh, I want to impress this girl by lying about how much money I have so I can take her on a date, then you end up being broke or something like that. And I feel like sex is one of them, but I think I think the other things which are just as big, but because it's it's a physical action that is very easy for people to remember, it's very easy just to say, this is the one thing that holding men back, because of many other things.
That's true. I think, to go off what you're saying, I wouldn't even say as, I think sex is too narrow. You have to say lust. Because lust carries everything. Like we're not just talking about lust as in like sexual lust. We're talking about lust of someone else's property. Like you're gonna look like, fam, I want to be able to drive that car this man's got. I want to be able to have the amount of money this guy's got, and that's a lust of the eye. So it's like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. That means I may have to sin. I may have to start trapping. I may have to start doing these things to be able to get to that lifestyle that I lust for. So I think lust, as a general, that is a big thing that's holding a lot of men back, because what the world has done is taught us, and culture's allowed us to kind of embrace growing up, is to lust after other things is normal. Like, fam, we see it all from when we were young. Like, people wanting to be like, oh yeah, I want to be like this guy. I want to have this. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to be with this many girls. This. It's very much ingrained into you from young. So when you then step into the kingdom, you're like, fam, all these things I've been learning, it's actually all false. Like, it's all wrong. And then to unlearn it is hard, because you've been programmed for what? Maybe, let's say you give your life
30 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it could be up to 30 years. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's hard.